Good morning. Buenos días a todos. Good morning to everyone. If we are safe from distancing, I'm going to remove my mask real quick because it's very challenging to speak with the mask. And for those that don't know, I also was diagnosed with Bell's palsy a couple of months ago. So I'm also challenged by that. It's not that I started an early weekend, if my pronunciation is not on point. Again, what a beautiful day it is. What a beautiful day indeed. Not only because the sun is out, we have a gathering of some amazing individuals that mean so much for the city of Reading, but because things are happening. Things are happening, and things are happening for the right reasons, and I'm honored to be part of it. I'd like to start by acknowledging a few individuals that are in attendance. Of course, Councilwoman Donna Reed, thank you so much. She will be saying a few words. Council Vice President Sahelnik, thank you again. I also want to acknowledge Interim Director for Public Works, Mr. Charles Jones. I want to acknowledge Ms. Aaron Gant from VRCA. I want to thank you greatly for your presence, Mr. Bell Evans, Chief of Staff for Judy Schwenk. The census is also here, so thank you so much. Mr. Timothy Kroll, the engineer involved in this project. So everyone, please, if I miss anybody, it wasn't done intentionally. You know, the completion of this sidewalk project was so important, was essential. In fact, I remember coming or driving up the street very often and seeing people have to walk on the streets. Although there was some posted signs that acknowledged that the sidewalk was closed and they should use the opposite side. Unfortunately, that wasn't always the case. And many times I would see women with even carriages, and I would cringe seeing that. So immediately that I took office, I knew this was among many projects very important for me in the city of Reading. This is, again, for the safety of all our citizens and visitors that travel here as well. You know, today is here on Fifth and Penn Street. The goal is to beautify the whole city of Reading. So we have to start somewhere, and I'm glad this was one of the first to, again, have these repairs made so that we could, again, not only have a safety concern to resolve, but also beautify our downtown. I also want to thank, which I didn't mention and I did it purposely, the owner himself, Mr. Sean Moretti. I'm sorry, property manager, I was just corrected. But thank you for your community cooperation and making sure that we work in this together. So, and I'll actually to come in a few minutes as well to say a few words. So again, we're gonna do a ceremonial ribbon cutting because as minimum as he may look behind me, it's such a huge accomplishment for the downtown and the city of Reading. So I am honored that with this being hold off for so many years, that our administration was able to tackle it immediately. So again, thank you all, thank you. So I'm gonna leave my words short there, and I'm gonna ask Councilwoman Donna Reed to please come and say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm gonna follow the mayor's lead and just drop my mask for a minute or two. You know, we're standing here in the heart of Berks County, Penn Street, Reading, the heart of the county seat. This is a historic part of the county of Berks. And we stand here at a building that was once the Mansion House, was the premier hotel in Berks County. 1912, Teddy Roosevelt stood in that balcony and he addressed 10,000 plus people. Imagine that, John Kennedy years ago across the street. This is a crossroads of history. And whenever we walk these sidewalks, we walk history. Those of us who serve as reporters, we can remember the big fire here at the McDonald's in the late 70s. And the rebuilding of to this building. The whole time from Teddy Roosevelt on, that vault existed down here under Fifth Street. So all the people, all the footsteps walked along this way, all of Berks County, it's Reading citizens and residents. The fact that we couldn't walk that way over the course of maybe a decade or so is certainly not a bright spot for the city and not a bright spot for the administrations in this city. But with the Moran administration, with the footsteps they've been taking that are really turning from strides into sprints to making this city a better place, we now have a sidewalk that we can use that enhances the safety. And think of all those people. The mayor alluded to young moms with babies in strollers. Who knows who those babies will grow up to be? But whenever you have a clear pathway from one point to another, that takes you to places we'll never know, to destinations that are important. So thank you, Mayor. I've been on council for almost 18 years now, and it's nice to see something accomplished, and it took this mayor and this administration to do it. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I'd like to invite to the podium Council Vice President Kamani, please.
Thank you, Mayor Moran, and welcome everybody. It may seem a little silly to be celebrating and hosting a ribbon cutting here for a sidewalk, but when you think of the magnitude and the potential that this is going to bring for the heartbeat of our city, downtown, Penn Square, where we are right now, for the future of what our city holds, the safety, the walkability, the vitality. It is not silly at all to me. It's not silly at all to me to be celebrating this monumentous occasion. As the liaison to the Downtown Improvement District Authority, I want to acknowledge and thank Mr. Charles Broad, who is here, and his staff for being the stewards and always maintaining a good and positive relationship for the downtown corridor. When we stand here and we walk here and we live here, it's a very important part of our community, and we thank Mayor Moran for making sure that this was one of the priorities. But someone who is not here that needs to be acknowledged is Mr. Osmer Deming. Mr. Deming, as part of our legal office and former managing director of a previous administration, put in many, many, many hours. This has been a long project that has accomplished, with collaboration of everybody you see here, this celebration. So I invite everybody downtown to take a stroll, a quick little stroll with whatever music will be playing appropriately in your head. As you walk downtown in the beautiful city of Reading, walk over to our farmers market and enjoy a nice bite to eat, an ice cream cone, or your favorite beverage here in the city. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I'd like to ask Ms. Erin Gantz from GRCA, the Executive Director of the Downtown Revitalization, to come and say a few words, please, of what this means to the downtown area.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Moran. This sidewalk has really been such a challenge over the last couple of years, and it's really thrilling and absolutely exciting to be here. To be able to walk this sidewalk again. It's important for the safety and walkability of our downtown, but also a commitment to infrastructure investment by the city. And so I'm really looking forward to continuing that in other areas of the city and the downtown. And thank you so much for seeing this project to fruition. I know that Councilwoman Cepeda Freites was probably getting annoyed with me asking if there had been any progress. So really thrilled to see this happen and can't wait to take a stroll down the sidewalk. Thank you.
So again, I don't want to sound redundant. It has been mentioned that why ribbon cutting for a sidewalk? You know, again, it is a monumental moment because it has been a block sidewalk for so long. And it's also part of a larger plan, okay? This is just the start. These are some seeds that are being planted. You know, this is part of the Clean City Initiative. This is part of safety. This is part of good leadership. This is part of economic growth. Because I constantly say that my intention is to become the biggest ambassador this city has ever seen. But we have to sell something. We have to show something for it. This is where we start. Okay, so again, Unless anybody else wants to share something, I am greatly appreciative for everybody's attendance. I'm grateful to all the agencies that took part in making sure that this project went through smoothly and as quick as we could possibly done it since the administration took over. So with that said, thank you, and please join me as we make an official ribbon cutting. I know. We have them. So we all gonna. All right. So you can hold on to the ribbon.
I know how distant it is.
Yeah, Sean, come on. When I write
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Brady, you can join them.
Yeah, Tim?
Pat, give me your camera. I'll snap one for you too.
This is an unusual request, but this is for the city of Reading, for everybody that has worked on this, everybody that takes part of Reading. So I'm gonna ask everybody to join me.
Yes.
Everybody, please, Mr. Evans, everyone, please join me. If you live in the city, if you work in the city, if you play in the city, this is for all of us.
Standing here on the sidewalk today. Come on.
Thank you. Alrighty.
Wait, Eddie,
Hold on,
wait for
hold on.
one for Chuck's camera, and then I'm gonna take that. Hold on. Everybody look here. This is for Chuck's camera.
All right, so on 3, 1, 2, and 3. Woo! Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Anybody else want some?
Very good. I
Thank you
figured
very
it's
much.
my second to last day. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And you, sir? Are you with the center? It's nice to meet you. Thanks for being here.
And then push here. Make sure they post it. And,